But what do you think gives you the audacity to talk about relationships? Like, treat me like a human. And boys, when they have to treat a girl like a human, they fall in love with her. If she just wanted to talk to him, I'd let her just talk.
What?
Okay.
We got bubble tea, by the way.
Bubble
I
tea.
shouldn't be spending money. My Primo gems are all taken.
$200.
240. I know.
It gets worse and worse, man.
No, I'm promising to my audience, to myself, that I will never buy another Primo gem in my life.
She's lying.
No, I'm not lying.
No!
Never buying another Primo gem in my life.
I don't believe that.
Okay. I hope you guys believe me. We don't talk. I believe myself. I'll never swipe. Even if it's a Welkin. You think I'm going to buy a Welkin? I can see myself buying a Welkin. No, I'll never buy a Welkin in my life.
Really?
Yeah. So last week we kind of showed you guys like... Okay, because I hosted last week, I kind of wanted to have like rapper vibes. I don't know if that's the vibes you got, but this time our host picked our fits today. What did you pick?
I chose purple!
Yes, this is what I have because it's the only purple shirt I have. I have no purple pants. I got no purple pants.
Yeah. And that's okay. I didn't say how much purple we should wear. I just said wear purple.
Yeah.
And so I went all out because I'm host. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to today's episode of 2 Cents and a Mic. Today, I will be your host, Carissa, and this is my co-host,
Jenny.
And our topic for today is actually going to be knowledge. We're going to be talking about knowledge, and you'll understand what I mean when I start talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is the concept of when you're young, you don't know anything. I want to know your initial thoughts on that.
When I'm young and I don't know anything?
Yeah. Have you ever heard people say that? Do you believe in that? Do you believe that quote?
Yeah, now I do. Before,
Really?
Yeah, at the time when I was a kid, I was like, well, no, I know everything or whatever. I'm very like when you're young, you think you know a lot of things, but you really don't. Like, I'm telling you this because like when I was a kid, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to be an adult. I can't wait to have responsibilities.
Wait, how old are we talking?
Okay, how old were you talking? I was talking about like 9. I thought about those things.
I'm talking about like when you're a teenager. You know, and your parents are like, you're still young, you don't know anything, like, you know, and you're like in that like rambunctious age of like fighting back to them.
Oh, okay. I think I'm a bit different because like I didn't really fight back towards my parents. I didn't really fight back with my parents in terms of that. Like I never had like initial thoughts. Oh. I do remember as a kid though, I was like, I want to be an adult. I want to have like so much things to do. I want to blah blah blah. Like, girl, you didn't know what you were talking about. Like, but then at the time it was like, damn, I can't wait to be an adult. I can't wait to do this. Like, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Like, I just thought that like I knew I thought I knew everything as a kid. I'm just like, yeah, like, is this my life? Like, and then I just took it for granted.
Yeah,
like,
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking about a different age, though, because, like, I have this experience. At some point, I would talk back, you know, and then they'd be like, oh, you're still young, you don't know anything, you don't have any experience in life, like that. Have you ever heard that?
I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have. Like, and that's why I just don't talk back. In general, I'm not a fighter.
So that happened early on in your childhood?
Not in my childhood. When I was talking about my childhood, I was meant to say like, oh, I thought I knew like everything, or like I thought this is what I wanted because I've never experienced it, of course. So like the fact that like my parents could get what they want, but then I didn't like realize that they had things to pay and all of those things, and it just gets really complicated when you're an adult. But then as a kid, I didn't have any concept of that, so then I was like, yeah, no, I want to be an adult.
So you do believe that when you're young, you don't know anything?
I think at the time, I didn't believe it.
Yeah. But now, how do you feel now?
Now?
Now, do you agree with that
I do agree. Because if a 30-year-old man... Wait a minute. If a 30-year-old person were to be like, your 20s, like, you don't know anything, I'd be like...
You believe him?
I'd believe him. Yeah, I would believe him. Because that man has, like... lived his 20s or whatever. Yeah. Okay, they have to be like a very like there has to be like huge age gap into it, like because they're probably like living a different life from us. Like they're probably living the I have kids or I'm settling right now, and they're like just having like they probably would have already found themselves or whatever. If not, then sure, like you didn't find yourself, but they have their own experience. And if I were to think that I already knew everything, then I'd be like ignorant to what they say. I'd be like, you don't need to tell me this. I already know. I got this and stuff like that.
So what if you were going through something at the time, and then like a 30-year-old came up to you and he was like, "Oh, I went through that when I was your age, and you're actually dealing with it wrong." Would you believe them?
Okay, if they say it like that, you don't get to tell me how I deal with things.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Okay, the way you're saying it sounds like if that person like invalidated me, and if that person is invalidating my experience, then I would not want to talk. Like I would not like that person, or like I wouldn't think, like I wouldn't want to be in that same space, because being told that like, oh, I've been there, done that, went through that, and they're not like empathizing with me, and they're just like, yeah, I'll just watch you go through the emotions and like live with it or whatever. Like you'll get past it. It's very I don't know how to explain it. It's like
disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful, in my opinion. It's like what I'm feeling right now, it doesn't matter because you've already went through it, and so I wouldn't want to talk to you about it and stuff like that.
So my thoughts on the when you're young, you don't know anything. I disagree, because for me, I think when you're young, yes, you don't have as many experiences as someone who's in different life phases as you, but at the same time, my opinion is that you only need to go through something once for you to have experience and like know how to deal with something. That's my opinion. And you know how to deal with that thing personally, but I think it comes with this idea that you have to be open-minded as well to other people's experiences. Like you can have your own experience, and that that informs how you respond to other people's experience, but you should still be open-minded and be like, okay, I know this about myself, and I've experienced this. You're going through something similar, but we don't deal with it the same way, but I know what you're going through. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's my opinion. So someone older than you saying, oh, you don't know anything, I disagree with that.
Okay, then I would agree with what you mean by that. If I was going through like a depressing time, and then they're like, wow, I've been there, done that, but you have to do this, and this. I'll be like, I agree with you in terms of just like we deal things really differently. What you say to me isn't gonna work the same way, and so like in that case, I think I would know more than him, or them, or her.
What? Wait, what? Oh, not the pronouns. Anyways, why?
Because like how is it?
What do you mean know more than them?
I would know more because I'm myself, and they're like, sure, they've been through the same event.
Yeah.
But then how would they know how I would deal with it, because they're not me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, there's like, I would say like me and my sister are both different people. So when she gets like really, really depressed, she needs to like go out. And I think I see it with you too. Like she wants to surround herself with like her friends and her family, and to just like talk and express and just like go out and like distract herself. Whereas for me, how I deal with like my shit and like my, like if I get depressed, I like whenever I'm sad, I just hold myself in my room, because that's how I deal with my things. I like to bottle up, and I like to like keep to myself, and I like to journal and express like my feelings through journaling and all of that. But then she would do that like on top of other things, because so like who knows more in the situation then? Neither of us, because we just deal with things differently.
What if someone has been through something that you've experienced, but they've experienced it multiple times, but they're still invalidating you? Does that make any difference?
I would be like, why are you invalidating me? Especially, okay, if someone has gone through something multiple times, I would be very surprised if they invalidated me. Like they should know how hard it is, especially if they've been put in that situation and experienced like multiple times. That's why when you said like when you experience one thing, you just need to experience it once. I'm like, I kind of don't agree with that, because to me, like, you're gonna experience the same thing over and over again until you like finally learn it. that's not like one experience. That's like well, maybe one experience, but like multiple events.
I think.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. For me, when I think of one experience, it's like you've learned your lesson after that one experience. That's how I see it. Yeah, which is why I don't think you need to go through it multiple times to have been like, yeah, I have good experience in this.
Yeah, if you didn't learn the first time, you're gonna go through it again.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I think. And you might think, okay, but I think just because you learned it the first time, some people would still mess up. Does that make sense? Like, if you knew that someone was toxic for you and that you know and you say, if you know, I think knowing and learning are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that you shouldn't be around this guy because they're toxic, then you've learned from it, like you broke up with them. If you find another guy just like the guy before, then girl, you didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
You can know not to be around guys like those, but if you continue going for those guys, then you didn't even learn anything. Sure, you can know not to, but like you're just going to repeat the same thing until like...
I mean, yes, I agree with you. I just think that people, they experience things, they do learn from it, but that they can... I feel like you can keep making mistakes. I don't think that means that you haven't learned anything from your experience, like that you don't know. Because some people are self-aware. They're like, yeah, I know this is a bad situation, but I'm just in it.
Okay. If you're self-aware and you put yourself in a bad situation, then like, you can be self-aware, but then why would you go through that?
Jenny, think about like abusive relationships. Why would you put yourself through that?
Because your emotion.
Okay,
I get it. You can be I don't know why I said that. I'm literally the same. Like this was literally my life.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. I was like, Jenny, what are you talking about here? Let's dip our tea.
Let's be real. Yeah, I do. I think I'm very self-aware, but then I still go through that situation, and that's what I mean. I'm just like saying like that situation is just gonna keep coming up until like I learn from it. Learn from it as in like just don't do it next time. Like, in the analogy of I'm gonna keep putting my hand over the stove until I think I should stop putting my hand over the stove.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it controversial if we talk about like what you think about that? What do you think about that? Like people who are like that keep putting their hand over the stove.
I don't mind. I don't mind like talking about it. I feel like I'm someone who puts their hand on the stove all the time.
Yeah.
I would just me towards that person. Firstly, I would not attach to them. Yeah, I think it's very important for me to have like distance from that person because every time they're gonna put their hand in their stove, it's gonna hurt me because I'll be like, bro, why are you going through the same thing over and over again? It's good. Just let me I just want to fix it if that's the case. But then like you can't. I don't think you can fix anyone. Like I don't think that person has to learn themselves not to like put their hand in the stove. I can't always take their hand away from the stove, or like I can't take the stove away or anything like that. Like I have no power. I can only just be like, okay, don't put your hand on the stove anymore. That's not good. But if they keep doing it, I can't do anything. Yeah. I think people like that just need to experience it themselves in order to learn, and I can't do anything to prevent that other than like giving my advice and saying don't do that. Well, what do you think?
I agree with you. Yeah, it can hurt people, but at the same time, like I think about it and I'm like, I would do it for someone.
What do you mean?
Wouldn't become I would be attached to them and I would repeatedly tell them like, don't do that. You know,
I can repeatedly do that and not get attached to them.
What do you mean attached?
Attached to them as in like, okay, if I was attached to someone, I feel like every time they do the same mistake, it's that itself is just gonna really, really, really hurt me.
So what if I started doing that? Like, what if I was in a toxic relationship and I kept coming to you and I was like, Jenny, he did the same thing again. Like, how would you feel?
I would be.
Would you unattach from me?
I would. Okay, I need to like, not unattach to you. But, okay, maybe I would, because it's kind of like, I can't, because you can't learn just because I tell you not to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would rather be mentally strong enough to be there for you and stay there for you, and like sure it'll hurt a bit if that guy is hurting you, but I want to be strong enough to just be there for you in general.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, but I can't do that if I'm attached to you. Because if I'm attached to you, then every time like that guy would hurt you, I'd be like, I can't do this. Like
I get
this
you.
this is gonna be too much for me.
Okay.
Like I would literally just hijack your phone, delete whatever messaging thing you're doing with him, or like just get your phone and throw it away and just like try and keep you away from him.
Would you ever do that? Would you?
I want to, but I know I shouldn't. Would I ever if we were in a club,
Okay.
and
I know where this is going.
if you were in a club and you're like, I need to message him, I need a thing, like, and it's your toxic ex, right?
Yeah.
I would.
You would take the phone
I would
away from
take
me?
your phone away, and I would pretend that like you lost your phone,
What would I do?
and then I'd be like, girl, it's fine, like we're already here, live, laugh, love, take a drink, and then we'll have fun. And then the next day I'll be like, oh my gosh, I found your phone in my pocket.
Really?
And then I'd give it back to you. Girl, I'm not letting you make a fool
Wait,
of
go
yourself.
back to if she just wanted to talk to him, I'd let her just talk to him.
What?
Wait, toxic. Wait, no, never mind. I think wait, I'm just thinking like her ex.
Yeah,
not toxic.
a toxic ex.
Okay.
I would never let you talk to an toxic ex.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
But if it was like, what if it was just an ex? It's the same story?
I think beforehand, I would probably like talk to you and be like, "Are you guys going no contact or whatever?" Like if you guys are just like, I don't know, friends or whatever, sure, I'll give you your phone. But then if you're like, I need to break off with this person completely, I need no contact and shit like that, I would be like, okay, delete his number or whatever. I'll do whatever it takes to like for you not to do. But if you okay, but there comes a limit. If you remember his number for some reason and you're drunk,
Oh my god.
I'll be like, okay, girl,
I don't
you can
think
text him.
Is that even possible?
No, there's okay, maybe. That's what I'm saying. It's like if you in your heart and soul just really want to text him, and it's like to the point where you remember this man's number drunk after like 3 drinks, I'd be like, okay, go for it.
Okay. If it was an ex, just a regular ex, and you were on good terms with him, I'd let you.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I mean, because I feel like, your drunk thoughts are your is that what they say? Your drunk actions are your sober thoughts. Wait, is that what it is?
No, your drunk thoughts are like your truest like feelings or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, your sober wants.
Nothing to do with sober, girl. It's just the more drunk you are, the more like
Your id is coming out.
Your id. Oh shit, that's a bit weird to talk to our audience like that.
Why? People know what it is.
I didn't know what id was back in my day.
Well, they probably learned it in school.
Okay. What do people? Okay, your intrusive thoughts come through and you play with them when you're drunk. Play.
What experience have you learned the most from, do you think?
I'd say I experienced the most last year, but I learned the most this year.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't think you learned anything or like you didn't learn much last year from your experiences?
I did, but I would just like, I'm someone who just like likes to experience things, in my opinion. Like I would just like I would just go through it, but I would never. I don't think I really like learned from it. Does that make sense? Like if you learned if you learned something, then you wouldn't go through the same thing again, or like you would change.
But I think you did. Didn't you change from last year? You said, like, what have you gone through last year that you went through this year again?
Nothing.
So is that not learning?
I think that's just experiencing. But then like, I think you experience and then you learn. That's my thing. Because when you experience something, you can know something, but then you can still and have self-awareness and stuff like that. But you can still put yourself in that same situation again. But if you put yourself in that same situation again, I feel like you didn't learn anything. Or you would have just known not to do that. You know?
So then you did learn.
This year, yeah. Based on last year. Does that make sense?
Oh, so you're saying it just took you a year to learn. Like, you went through the experience over a year, and then you learned finally.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that.
What about you? For you, I think it would be high school.
Really? Why do you say that?
Girl, you went through so much in high school.
But I didn't learn.
Okay, fine. Maybe you experienced a lot in high school.
I experienced a lot in high school, but I think I learned the most last year. I think I experienced the most learned the most last year because of everything that I went through with like the friendships and stuff. And I feel like that was a really big learning experience for my boundaries. I feel like I learned a lot about boundaries, and that was a really important lesson that I needed to learn and go through and experience. That's probably what I would say. So you didn't give an example, though. Like, what is something that you learned?
I think I learned to, like, prioritize myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't really prioritize myself in any aspect, to be honest. Like, if people needed me and I was doing an assignment, I'd be like, okay, bye. I'm not going to do my assignment. I'm just going to help you with your feelings and let you vent and stuff like that. Or I would just not engage in anything that would make... Well, people made me happy, right? But then there would be times where it's just like, damn, I just want to hang out with this one person. But then, like, someone might be like, Jen, I'm crying, blah, 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 or, like, I need help. And then I would, like, drop whatever I did with that person just to, like, help them. And I just, like, I would, but I was doing it for, like, everyone. That's the thing. It's just, like, I feel like I should only do those things for, certain people. I also similar to you, it's just like I prioritized everyone. Like I just prioritized everyone but myself, in my opinion. So now I'm a bit different, and I prioritize myself and the people who are closest to me as well. Yeah,
that's a good lesson. That's a good lesson to learn from your experience.
It's also like how I want to be prioritized. It's also another like thing that I learned because I didn't know how it felt to be prioritized in the first place. So, like, when someone did prioritize me, I took that and I was like, okay, this is how I want to, like, treat myself. And this is how I'm going to treat myself moving forward.
So then, relating to that, I want to ask, what's the best piece of advice that you've gotten?
I think for me, the best piece of advice, it's not really advice. It's more like someone's way of thinking that I think like this now, is that, like, there are things that there are a lot more things that you have in control more than you think. I don't know if that... Okay,
that did not English.
Okay. You have a lot of things... I don't know how to say it. It's like you just have a lot more things in control than you think. Because for me, I used to think that, like, I didn't have any control in my life at all. But then, like, this person is trying to say that,
just
like...
I have a lot more control over things in my life than I thought.
Okay. I have a lot
more control over things in my life than I thought.
Yeah, that is the one that I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because I used to be someone who would always like want to go with the flow or just like adapt into situations, and whatever people wanted, I would just be like, yeah, okay, I'll just like adapt to that and stuff like that. Because I just didn't think I had that much control in my life. And so I would get really emotional, and I would think so much. I don't know. It's not emotional. I would just go with the flow with a lot of things, which is good. But then sometimes when you go too much into the flow, you forget that you also have control in things, like how you're treated. You don't always have to tolerate the way you're treated, or you don't always have to like adapt to someone's bad behaviors and all of that. Like you also have like a say in things, and you don't have to tolerate everything. And what about you? Oh, you're so lucky you get to think about this.
Yeah.
You put me on the spot.
No, because I actually, like, for advice, this is the piece of advice that I always, like, tell myself. And I was thinking about it. And I thought, this is the reason why I'm kind of, like, really go with the flow. And what was that word that we were using the other day when we were talking about thing? And you were like, it's, like, resilient, but...
Oh, resolve.
Oh, resolve. Like, I think this is part of the reason why I have high resolve. Because my dad gave me this advice once. And it was like, I was feeling really anxious about moving from middle school into high school. It's a small problem, whatever. But I was feeling really anxious about it. And he was like, Carissa, why are you scared? And I was like, I don't know. 'Cause I just feel scared.
Oh, I remember this, yeah.
Oh, really? Have I told you this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always tell people this advice because I think it's really good advice. And he was like, why do you feel scared? I was like, I don't know why I feel scared. And then he said, well, if you don't know why you're scared, then you shouldn't be scared. There's no reason to be scared. You have no reason. And I was thinking about that. And I was like, It relates to overthinking, I think.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an overthinker.
Anyways.
I'm a really bad overthinker.
Yeah. But, like, it kind of made me feel like, oh, you're right. If I don't know immediately what the problem is, if I don't know the reason why I'm upset, then why am I thinking even further to, like, really spiral into that sadness or into that anxiousness, you know? So just think of it at a surface level. If you don't know why you're scared, don't be scared. But I don't think that applies to everything. I think it's okay. Like, you can be scared and not know why you're scared, or you can be anxious and not know why when there is a valid reason to be. But as a general rule, if there's something bothering you, just throw it over your shoulder. Don't be scared. If you don't know why, don't be scared.
I'm literally the exact opposite to that.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's really good advice.
I think it's good advice.
Yeah.
I think I'm just I need to slap a reason onto everything. Because, like, say with you, it's like, why am I so scared of middle school going to high school, right? Mm-hmm. Then I would, like, dig through every reason as to why. And then, like, just... Because if I don't... For me personally, right? If I don't know the answer... I'm unsatisfied. I'm not happy. I need to know why. And then that will calm me down. Yeah. To know the reason why.
Whereas for me, I'm like ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Ignorance is bliss though in some cases. I do like that I do like that advice. Ignorance is bliss, because when you're ignorant, everything is just fly free.
Didn't you say you adopted that? Oh yeah, you did, but you didn't like it.
What?
Ignorance is bliss. You had a period of time where you were adopting that mentality, like, oh, I don't want to know about it if it's hurting me.
Oh, yes,
yeah, but you didn't like it.
Oh, no, I didn't mind it.
Oh.
Like, of course I didn't like it in terms of, like, my answers. I mean, my questions weren't answered, but also at the same time, like, there was literally no point in, like, thinking of that, which makes sense, because, like, if you put it in like, your context of, like, why am I scared of going to high school from middle school? No matter how much you think, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah. At what point do you feel like you have the knowledge to answer other people's questions? Do you think anyone can do that? Like, would you ever go to someone who's younger than you for advice? Really?
No.
Really?
Unless I know that person is like... Unless I know that person has gone through something that I haven't, I wouldn't.
What about, okay, so why do you think people come to you about relationship advice, even though you've never been in a relationship?
It's because I'm single and I have an objective point of view. And people who are in a relationship usually have, like, rose-tinted glasses. Yeah, like, they're too much in their feels, and they can't really see the situation as it is. And so that's why they would go to a single person or someone who's, like, they don't even have to be single. They can just, like, go to someone who has no bias whatsoever, and they need to be told straight, like, what is wrong with my situation.
Really?
Yeah. I've been told that once. Like, that's literally why I think... Yeah, I think I've been told that. That's my answer.
For me, when I think of that, I'm like, I wouldn't want to go to someone who doesn't have experience in a relationship. Like, if I have gone to you about relationships because you're someone who's close to me, but I think it also constitutes to, like, well, I don't know the people who talk to you about relationships, but for me, I feel most comfortable going to people who already have experience in that. So I would, no offense, but if it was between you or someone who's been in a relationship, like, for example, when I started talking, that's why I felt really close to me when I started talking to her about relationships.
She went to me to talk about relationships.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's who I was referring to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and after that, she, like, pretty much fixed her thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can go on. Oh,
yeah.
My gosh. I like how it went, like, three-way.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, so cool. Universe! Bless the universe! Okay. Yeah, so I started talking to her about relationships, and I thought, like, after that point, I think there was one time when I was having a fight with the person I was in a relationship at the time, and the first person I thought to talk to was, even though I'm not close with her at all. But yeah, the first person I thought to go to was her because she's been in a relationship and, like, I felt like a kinship with her, you know? And I was just thinking about it, and okay, for lack of a better word, I'm going to use this word, but I don't know what other word to use for it. But what do you think gives you the audacity to talk about relationships? I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. That sounded really harsh.
Okay, it's okay.
But I don't know. I get it. Do you get what I mean?
I know.
Like,
what
why are you qualified to talk about relationships?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow, that's a little hard.
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay,
sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Like, do you think you're a good person to go to about relationships?
I want to toot my horn.
Well, I mean, you can say whatever. Be free.
Okay.
If you are, you are.
When people talk to me about their relationships, it's because we're in a conversation already.
Okay.
So yeah, they don't come to me and be like, I have relationship problems. No, we catch up after a long while, and then we talk about like everything, and then we get into a conversation about relationships.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking that people just came to you
No,
and were
no,
like,
no.
Jenny, I need advice from you.
No.
And I'm like, why do people come to you? Not that it's a bad thing that they... No. Girl.
I'm kidding.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like... It's just, you know... I feel bad saying this. I was going to say, of all the people you could go to... you go to someone who's not in a relationship, and it just doesn't make sense. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever given someone?
I think it was like my sister or somebody, like I don't remember who, but it was sort of like, okay, I think the people who I give the most advice to are people who are like really incompatible. Like not really incompatible, but then they are sort of like incompatible. That's why.
So relationships.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be relationships.
Oh, okay. It doesn't have to be relationships.
No. Any piece of advice that you've given that's like really good that you're like, wow, okay.
Oh, okay. My one would just be like, honestly, just set. Okay, if you want to keep a friend or if you want to keep a relo going, and you feel uneasy and you feel like you're, if you're upset or anything like that, there's a reason why you're upset. I think the best advice someone told me, and this is kind of what I hold and what my podcast from last week was related to, was sort of like, the reason why you're upset is because if you dig deeper into it, one of your needs are not being met or something like that. And I think that you should just communicate what you need and they should communicate what they need, and you guys should just work together to like provide each other that. If it becomes too much, then like you just break up, or like you guys just aren't suited to be friends. But if you want to give in that extra effort, then go for it. You'll have like a really strong friendship and a really strong relationship from it if you put in the effort and you keep trying. However, I don't think there will be a time where you might lose feelings or you might like not want to try anymore. And at that point, I think you should just like, you can try to fix it, but if that's why I don't know if you cut it off, but in my last podcast I said a girl or a guy would come to their tipping point and they don't want to give any more effort and then they don't want to try again. I think that's when you guys should raise the white flag in your friendship or your relationship.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you're not willing to put in effort, there's no point anymore.
Yeah.
That's pretty straightforward. Yeah. Okay. Don't ask me because I don't know.
I like how you just said it without like that's okay.
Do you think other people's advice influences your life perspective very often? Or do you think you can only learn things from experience?
For me, based on last year, based on like my past 20 years in my life, I really needed to experience something in order to learn. What I'm getting at is you're asking me, what if someone gave you advice? Would you change based on that person's advice?
Yes.
I'd say no, but I want to be a bit different moving forward. But based on my like past years, I've only people giving me advice. It does somewhat change how I feel or like my perspective, but not entirely.
Not enough to change your perspective.
Not enough for me to like go forward with huge changes. Yeah, because back then I was someone who like, I mean, maybe now still, but I'm not really sure because I haven't really gone through that huge amount of problem to want to need advice and then just pull through with what they say. Yeah. So because I'm very emotional before I was very emotional and I really sucked at discipline. I really sucked at committing. I really sucked at like just giving myself boundaries, rules, restrictions, and all of that. I was really bad at that. Right? And this is what I told you. Like I said, I told Carissa this one time where if I were to go back in time and I were to tell my past self everything that would happen, she would not listen to me. Like she would be like, "Oh, that's okay. I'll do it my own way or whatever." Like I was very much like, I want to do it my own way. I'm that kind of person. And even if you're like the most logical person in the world, you can give me advice and the chances are that I may not even take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that type of person and I feel really bad, but there are times where I really need advice and really need logic and try my best to like push through what they say. But based on last year, I didn't really do that. And it's because I just learned more from experiencing than I did someone just telling me what to do.
Yeah.
You?
I get that. I feel like you're a very hindsight kind of person. Like you look back on it, you're like, yeah, they were right.
Yeah, I really do. I really do.
Yeah.
I really go like look back and I'm just like, wow, yeah, they're actually right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard you say that many times. Like, you're like, this person told me this, but I didn't listen to them. I had to go through it.
I mean, what about you? Do you listen to what people say to you, or no?
I feel like I do.
I feel like you do too.
Yeah, I do. I do believe that you have to go through experiences to truly learn the lesson yourself. But if people give me advice and it makes sense, I listen to it. I have no reason to go against them because it's okay. I feel like maybe for me, because I'm more open to people.
I'm a rebel.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Keep going.
I'm more open to people telling me, because I go to people for advice. I'm not. Do you go to people for advice?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Oh, but then you just don't take it.
Okay, it's not that I don't take it. I'm just very much of a person that likes to do things my own way. Like I'll get what you say and then I'll
take it into consideration.
Yeah, I'll take what you say and then put it in my system and then like it'll be like a mix of you and I together with the solution. Yeah.
Okay.
It's never like I'll take what you say and then I'll go with it.
Yeah.
Unless that person is very like like really piques my emotional side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me.
But advice is usually logical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would take what they say. I'll take what I want to do, put it together, and then I'll do what we say.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's a good way. I mean, I think that's good because then you don't think that's good? Why are you wincing? I see your eyes twitching.
You go first.
Okay. For me, I trust people. If I come to you for advice and you give me good advice, I have no reason to not listen to you. Unless I just genuinely don't think it's good advice.
Yeah, well, never mind. I was going to ask that. I was like, how do you know if something's good advice or not then?
So I only go to people usually when like I've decided, I have like options of things I want to do and I'm asking them like, what do you think about my situation and like which direction should I go in? So it's kind of like guide me, but I already have my own opinions. I don't like going to people and asking them like, can you tell me what I need? Because I think I only do that with people that I'm really, really close to because I trust their opinion.
Okay, then what would change your life perspective?
I would say that there's only one thing that has really been changed. And I don't know if this is controversial to talk about, so I don't know if I should cut this out. You tell me at the end. But there's only one thing that my mind has changed on, and that's guys. Because I used to think guys were so trash.
You didn't say that last podcast.
No, last podcast I was saying that they weren't dumb.
Okay, next.
But now, like I'm saying now, I think that they are really. I used to think that they were really trash and that all men were trash and like there were no good men out there. Oh my god, I sound like. Is it misogynist? No, it's an androgynist. Have you ever heard of that? No. Okay.
You sound basically like sorry. You sound like an incel.
Yeah, I'm a female incel. There's no good men out there. Basically, that's what I thought. Because I've just always had really bad experiences with guys. And, but then I made some guy friends. And they really changed my perspective. Because I realized that, you know what? It's not all men.
I have a question.
Yes.
So then what did you think of me?
You're not. What do you mean?
Like, because I always told you I don't think guys are that bad.
No,
You never trusted me.
I never believed you.
You never believed me.
No, because I went through When did you say that to me?
I remember saying to you that like, oh, I don't think all guys are like, because you used to have a perspective where like, oh, guys and girls can't be friends.
Oh yeah.
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 And then I was like, I think guys and girls can be friends.
Actually, I still believe that.
I don't believe that at all.
I still believe that a little bit. But anyways.
Yeah, and I went to say, like, I think, like, okay, with a lot of my guy friends, I see them as, like, my older brothers. I don't know why I'm smiling to them. It's a smile for you. But I do see a lot of my guy friends as my older brothers. And, like, I remember these high school friends who are, like, guys, when I said, oh, my gosh, I want to try go to the gym, they were all, like, apparently they were like really excited and then they were like so pumped and they're like, oh my gosh, come to the gym, we're gonna make you do weights and shit like that. And I was kind of like, oh, thank you, like very older brother-esque. And I don't think at all that they have like feelings for me. And it's the same with like other people in like my, like when I make friends online and all of that, like I don't think, maybe you're just pretty.
No.
Not pretty.
No. Okay, sorry, keep going.
Like, okay, I think that there are sometimes there are just some girls that you can't be friends with because you'll fall for them. And there's just some girls that are like a homie and stuff like that. Like, I really see myself. Okay, no, I actually
she sees herself as one of the boys.
No, please. No. Please.
That's where she was going.
Cut that off. I don't want to say. I don't want that
She's
in there.
one of the boys.
I don't want to say that. That's so cringe. That's so pick me of me. I don't want to say that. I love women.
She's one of the homies.
I love women.
I'm a girl's girl.
I am
She's
a
boy's
girl.
boy.
No. I love girls. I love women. Please, it's Pride Month. Just like.
You know, to make it up, we should kiss right now.
Girl, like, I love girls. I love women.
Okay, it's okay. I believe you.
I'm not a pick-me girl, I promise.
Yes.
But I do get along with guys.
Whatever you say.
No! I'm just like, okay, I'm just saying this because, like, with you, right? Like, every guy you've befriended at some point had a crush on you or liked you. I don't experience that.
Maybe it's because when I make guy friends, I become close friends with them. But then the reason that they become close friends with me is because they like me. See, it's a toxic cycle.
It is.
And maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just one of those girls that you can never be friends with.
No, don't say like that. I actually don't know that though. I don't know. Like I don't have any opinions with that. I don't know if that actually exists or anything.
Maybe it's because I just don't act like a bro. And boys see me as a girl. Like,
so my guy friends see me as a guy?
No, because you banter with them and stuff. Like, you can, like, joke around. But for me, I'm very, like, I'm sensitive. Don't banter with me. Like, treat me like a human. And boys, when they have to treat a girl like a human, they fall in love with them.
You make me sound like I'm an object.
No.
What's the opposite of a human?
No, I'm not saying you're not a human. I'm saying you're a guy. You're one of the boys.
The reason why we got into this conversation in the first is because you said that men are trash, and now you don't see it as men are trash. Yes. And I tried telling you, I tried saying, like, I don't think guys are trash.
Yeah.
But then, like, you were like, based on your experience,
Yeah.
you believe yourself more than me.
Yeah, that's true. Because I have no evidence proving otherwise.
Yeah.
But these two boys, see, that's why I was like, they changed my perspective a lot. Because it's like everything, all the evidence goes against it. But then there were two guys that I befriended that changed my perspective on that.
Oh, okay. I was going to be
What?
like, as in, like, you don't think guys only get close to you because they like you?
Yes.
But didn't they like you?
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't have to talk about it.
Do you get my experience though? How do you feel when you see my experiences? Are you like, do you want to invalidate my experiences because you have different experiences? How does it make you feel when I say like, oh my god, all men are trash? Like every guy that I've talked to is like this. What do you think?
I would validate your experience. I'd be like, you know what? Based on like everything you've been through, yeah, I like if I were you, I would say men are trash too. Like I wouldn't adopt the same mindset because I've experienced differently. But like I would understand your perspective because I've been through like one experience through it and I hated it so much. And I for real was just like, what's the point of being friends with guys? What's the point? Like, what's the point? I understand your experience. So I won't invalidate you. Yeah. I wouldn't like be like, no, Carissa, men aren't trash. There's some guys out there who are actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
But
I do believe that. I'm just saying, I do believe that. But from my experiences, I don't become friends with those kinds of guys. Anyways, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, like if this sounds so bad, but if an incel was like telling me how like every girl has treated me the worst in my life, including my mother. I hate women. I'd be like, okay, fair, sure.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't like be like, no, not all women are the same. Blah 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 blah. I'd just be like, you know
That's
what?
your experience.
That's your experience.
Hello.
We just had technical issues again. You know what? From now on, we're using my phone.
Yes, because you have a lot of storage and I do not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, you were saying men were trash, and now you don't think that men are trash.
Okay, I still do.
Really?
Most.
Okay.
Most men. Because I just haven't had that experience. Okay, maybe I should say the men that I become friends with are trash. Have you ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect?
No.
Oh.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so...
And to the audience as well.
Okay, so the Dunning-Kruger effect is basically when you first learn something and you feel like you know everything about it. So I start working in social work, and then I have a few experiences, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I know this pretty well. And then the longer that I'm in the field, I realize how little I know about it. Does that make sense? Have you ever experienced that? When?
Let me think about it. Carissa, what do you think? For you?
I wrote one down because I knew that in the moment I would blank. I think the only thing that I've had that with is like learning stuff in psychology, because a lot of it, I think to myself when I'm learning things, I think, this is really like straightforward. Like it seems very simple. I understand the concepts. It's easy to grasp. It seems like common sense to me. But then when I really think about it, if I was put into a situation where I had to actually deal with other people's problems, I would blank. Which I don't know if that's a Dunning-Kruger effect. That's the only thing that I can think of, because otherwise I think it kind of relates to like confidence in abilities. Like you have to believe that you actually know something. But for me, I don't really I never assume that I know everything, because I just don't have that confidence in myself to be like, yeah, I know what's going on here. And no one really comes to me for advice about things. So
what does that matter? Oh, advice, because you don't know if you...
Yeah, because that's like experience. And, I feel like when people come to you for advice about things, that means that they believe you're knowledgeable in it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys think I'm knowledgeable?
Yeah, which relates back to the beginning topic of knowledge. And I wanted to talk about knowledge, and that's why I'm bringing up this.
I have one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for me, it'd be myself. Like, I would... there was, like, a certain point, because I do think a lot, and I think a lot about my values and my morals and, like, how I am as a person. And so, like, I thought that I knew a lot about myself, but like not until I'm put into that situation and it really tests my own values and my own morals is when I actually think that maybe I don't know myself that well. Like,
that's a good example.
Yeah. I don't think I know myself as well as I thought. And that's why to me I'm kind of like, oh, Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts, but like
Yeah, I think it does.
It does.
I mean, the more you learn about yourself, you're like, wow, I really don't have a grasp on my emotions or on my logic.
Yeah,
those
no,
kinds
for
of
sure.
things.
Like when I look back a year before of how my logic was or like how I thought about things, it's completely different now. I'd be like, I don't agree with you, past Jenny. I don't agree with you at all. But now I'm kind of like, now with my own, now based on my experiences and everything, I'd be like, yeah, this is more me.
So do you think you know yourself now?
No, I think I have a better grasp compared to last year, but because I had that whole thing last year of like, maybe I really don't know myself. I don't want to be like too overconfident and be like, I know myself from back and front, like head to toe and all that. I just see there's still room for improvement, but based on my experiences, I think I know myself pretty well.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. So how do you feel about adults that say like life has changed so much and they're very bitter about the change and how they grip onto the knowledge that they have and they're not accepting of the change that's going to happen? Do you feel like you're going to be like that when you're older? Because that's the knowledge that they're used to.
If there's going to be a toaster, a futuristic toaster, I can see myself being really mad that I can't just put the toast in the toaster and put it down myself.
Really? You'd get mad about that?
I'd be like, bruh, this is so complicated. I don't understand.
It used to be so simple back in my day.
It used to be so simple. You just need to put the toast in the toaster. Now I don't. Now I just have to like, I don't know, use my brain to like interconnect with the toaster to put the toast in the toaster. Like, okay, I don't want to say that like, oh, I wouldn't care, blah blah blah, because like, that's like we're living in that era where our parents are like, bro, I don't know how to use a microwave, or like I don't know how to like I don't know how to take a screenshot or whatever.
Yeah.
And then to me, it's just like, bro, just do this or just do this,
Yeah.
right? But then like, I understand them because they came from a time where like things just weren't like that, and like they didn't have like smartphones and all of that. It's pretty new to them. So what was the question? Like, would I become like that?
Do you think you will?
I think I will. Yeah. What about you? Do you think you will?
I like to think that I wouldn't, because
I agree.
Oh, you agree, yeah. Because I feel like I'm pretty open-minded about change, but then again, I also think that I'm a bit stubborn when it comes to change, and I just want things to be. I think things are good how they are right now.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry. I was gonna say like, you can be open-minded to change, but then learning how to change is a completely different thing. Yeah, like I can be open to a self-toasting toaster or like a microchip going into my brain, and I can like control everything with like how my brain works and stuff like that.
I've seen someone who has a microchip in their wrist that like connects to their house.
Girl,
have you seen that?
No,
it's crazy. Technology is crazy now.
I know, but like,
and I'm saying that right now. What am I going to be saying in 20 years?
Exactly.
Technology is crazy. It's not like, it should go back to the simple times.
Actually, I have a question then. Like, if there was a thing where like you put the chip into like integrate to you biologically,
like I had the option.
Yeah. Would you?
What is it for?
It's just like to control like
my house,
your house, and like everything.
I feel like
literally, you just need.
Is it cheap?
Okay, whatever. It's
if
cheap.
It was free, if it was free, I would.
I wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
No, I think I'd be too skeptical.
Oh, why?
Yeah, I don't know. Just the fact that there's gonna be a chip on me for the rest of my life.
What if it was highly tested and like the government said it was safe? You don't trust the government?
No.
You know the homeless people are actually spies.
Yeah, I don't think I okay, it's the same thing. Remember that one time? I remember this. We had like not a fight, but we had like, you would always leave your phone like anywhere, everywhere, and you were like, if they see me naked, then oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there was like a period in my life where I would just like get my phone.
I remember you used to put a sticker on your camera.
I used to put a sticker on my camera. I used to put my phone underneath my bed, and I would like every time I got changed, I just like I wouldn't have any cameras near me and stuff like that.
Was it scary to you, the fact that your phone listens to you for advertising? Is that scary for you? Does that freak you out? Why not?
Because I don't know, like it's not like I'm plotting a murder or anything.
Someone taking a picture of you naked isn't plotting murder. They're just getting off to you.
No, I don't want that. What the That's weird. That's weird. I don't want any. No. Yeah. No. If they're listening to me, because I thought about that as well. Because there was like a period as well. I was just like, should I just like be quiet? But then I just talk too much. It's just impossible.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, it's interesting to me that you were scared of the cameras when you know that your phone is listening to you, but you don't, like, it's very unlikely that your camera's taking photos of you, you know? Whereas, you know what I'm saying?
Like, there's something more likely than the other. Yeah. And yet you're scared of the one that's unlikely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because I'm scared of that one more than the other one is probably why.
That makes sense. But it's just weird. It's funny.
And then, like, after like a year and a half or something, I was just like, you know what? Fly free.
Oh, if you're taking photos, here you go.
No, I'm not like that. I'm innocent.
Of course.
Yeah, but like I think it just reminds me of that one time.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, I would never. And then you're like, you would. I think as a joke, you were like, you know what, girl? I'm gonna just do this. Like, put the phone in front of it and to just get changed.
I did that.
Yeah, I think it was to scare me or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, you'd be like, I'm gonna put a show for them. And I'm like, girl.
I don't remember doing that, but it sounds like something I did.
Yeah, you're like, I'll just put a show for them. And I'm like, okay, girl.
Okay, if you want them to have photos of you, let them have photos of you.
Let them have photos
Not
of you.
me. Boop.
Not me. I still kind of do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, if I want to listen to music, and I'd have to, like, bring my phone in the bathroom, right? So then I'd get my toothpaste, and I just, like, covered the camera part.
Wow,
and
every time?
Yeah.
Wow.
I still do.
Old habits never change.
Which is so weird, because the camera goes, like, straight up there. Ain't no way the camera's gonna look... I know, it's
They're gonna, like, see the reflection in the fog. They're gonna take photos of you.
Literally, but no, I just put the toothpaste on top of the camera, and then I just, like, I blast my music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny.
That's funny.
I think that's funny.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, the chip in the wrist.
You
yeah.
would, but I wouldn't.
I would.
I related it back to like high school.
What if it was like next year? You still wouldn't?
I would definitely not. Maybe a year, maybe like 15, 20 years from now, I'll think about it.
Oh, I would think that when you're older, you wouldn't want to do it even more. Because right now you're kind of open-minded.
No. I'm a very people's person. So, like, if everyone did it, I would do it. Oh. But if it's just, like, just a little bit, then not. But if it was, like, the future and everyone did it, I'd be like, okay, if we die together.
It's giving sheeple. We're all sheeple.
Sheep. I'm not a sheep. But, like, in terms of that, yeah. I don't want to be the first one to, like, put a chip in my wrist.
So, wait, did you get vaccinated as soon as it happened?
What?
COVID.
Oh, well, I needed to. I was a healthcare student.
If you were not a healthcare student, would you have?
Yeah. I don't have anything against vaccinations.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't think that's like the government?
No.
Injecting their DNA inside of you?
Okay, if it's anything medical related, I'm more open to it. But if it's something like for entertainment or like convenience, then I'd be like, I don't need to do this. But if it's like vaccines and like all of those things, I'd be like, yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. What if... What's something that you really want? Like, what if you could have, like, a chip in your eye?
That's even worse.
Okay. I don't know. What's something that's cool that you like? What if there was, like, a Valorant augmented reality that you could get a chip put into your wrist and then, like, a gun holograph would come into your hand? It could run around.
You wouldn't. Okay, if it's Valorant, you would never like that. Maybe Genshin.
You would?
If it's Genshin, maybe. But Valorant, I'm fine just using my... I would scream even more. Like, I'd get even more scared. Because then I'd actually, like, feel it.
Okay. What if it was, like, a chip that you could get in your wrist and then it would play not the Valorant. It oh my God, English. It would play the Genshin for you. You
Why
know?
would it have to be my wrist?
Because it's like a controller. And you can control it with your mind if you get a chip in your wrist.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think that's like. I don't see that any different from just playing with your mouse and keyboard using your hands.
Fair
If
enough.
it was like SAO type beat where you get like a head, like a headgear, and then you put it on and you go virtual reality.
What's
I would do
SAO?
that. Sword Art Online.
Oh.
Yeah, the anime.
Oh,
Basically, how it worked was like, oh my God, but that was scary too. So basically, they have like this helmet nerve gear thing, and then they put it on your head, and then you go into the game. But then the plot was like you couldn't take off your headset, and if you tried to kill yourself or like do anything like that, you would just die immediately.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Like
You
there
would
was
risk that?
there would be no logout button.
Yeah. Would you risk that?
Yeah, I'd just be a baker. I'd just be a baker, and then I'd wait for the main character to finish the game after like 2 years, and then we would all.
What if they
escape.
never finish? They die before they finish the game.
Then he wasn't the main character.
Oh, okay. Next hero.
Next hero. Like, okay. I wouldn't mind if that was the case.
Really?
Yeah.
You would be happy living in a virtual reality for the rest of your life? Or do you mean like you would take the what are you talking about?
Like, well, like I will. If you said that there was a headgear that could take me to Genshin, but then you didn't tell me that like I would get stuck there forever, I would do it. And then if I found out I got stuck there forever, I'd be like, oh shit.
Headgear is easy because that's something that you can take off.
Yeah, if it's external, I think I'm more thing. But if it's something that put in my body.
So what if it was like a chip that went into your wrist, but then it like projected stuff in front of your eyes? Would you do that? Like a Genshin stuff.
Maybe.
And it was free.
Then how would I buy my Primos? I'm kidding. I'm never gonna buy Primos in my whole entire life. What? It's free. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
it's
spat on
free.
you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I maybe. Would I like? Do I have to like? Would I be inside like virtual reality?
Yeah. I thought that's what you like. You don't like that?
Yeah, but that changes my mind a lot.
Why?
Now I kind of want to do it.
Oh.
But I don't like the idea of putting something in my body.
Yeah, and that was my whole topic for today.
And that is all for today's topics. Carissa, do you have anything to say?
Did you enjoy the topic for today?
I did. I think it was really interesting. Whoa, like we went through a lot of things, and when you said that, like, what makes you think you have the audacity to give relationships? I was like, what?
It was a hard-hitting question that had to be asked.
I'm sure you didn't mean any offense to it.
I
so,
didn't.
like,
I really didn't.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm chilling.
Good. No bad blood.
No bad blood. But thank you so much for coming to watch our second episode of 2 Cents and a Mic. We are now signing out.
We forgot to say this in the last episode, but please like, subscribe, and press that bell notification for some more very awesome videos from 2 Cents and a Mic. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
And that is a wrap.